am I hearing racist coffee?
Cause racist coffee. Alright, at everyone. All right, welcome back. Massachusetts versus Washington winners bracket semifinals. Number 2 is upon us. Our last match of the week is one of the best matchups on paper. So we're hoping for great things out of this one. I'm T1G, he's Dada, and we're gonna be chilling with you guys for the rest of the night. Hey, Dada.
Hey, in theory, like, this is a very, very even matchup, but also in theory, neither of these teams should be here. It's weird. Like, this has been an interesting tournament.
It is very, very strange. Yeah, the bracket just does not make much sense in this lower half. The Iowa over Ohio upset, and then Washington beating both Texas and SoCal kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in the proverbial gears, leading us to one of Massachusetts and Washington being guaranteed top 3 after this match.
All I can essentially gather from this is that Iowa is the proverbial butterfly flapping its wings.
Yeah, I don't know. Iowa they just caused things to occur. They caused one of the biggest upsets in the tournament, and then they refused to elaborate and left at the hands of SoCal just a few minutes ago. But this one should be good. You've got Massachusetts, Chillier, Sitho, TJ, Josie, Friends, Vector, Washington, Verderix, Monko, Jacob, 3 Warps, Con, Omfin, Conrad, Mitten, which are rosters that look pretty balanced, if you ask me, against one another. And we're going into the first warm-up here, which is going to be Racist Coffee, which is a throwback for Massachusetts to a couple years ago when this was actually in a pool, and they like, what, 1/100'd across 3 people or something?
It was something silly like that. It was like round of 16, no much here, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I forget for sure, but it was in that vicinity.
This map is so weird. Like, this is a full set that never got ranked, and it keeps getting nerfed and buffed in the graveyard for no apparent reason.
I think it hasn't been updated in a hot minute, but yeah, it still lives on somehow or other. Wait, this one.
I was quiet. No, I've made myself louder.
Maybe it'll be a little better. This was the same year that was it that Polish song was a Nomad 2 in like the next round? What was the name of that one?
I remember the name, Polish names.
Was that 2020?
I think it was 2020. I forgot the name of the song, but the song is in my head. I'm trying to get to the chorus because they say the name of the chorus. Let it play in my head.
Yeah, play the Polish song in your head so you can think of the name, because you speak such good Polish. Call up Malteser, or I don't know, call it Malashevsky or something. Maybe they can figure it out. Anyway, it is time.
Leci mi na ostro, zinto zababad inside ostro, something like that.
Okay, all right, excellent, perfect. It is time for the traditional Washington warm-up. Louis. This is their go-to, 24/7, 365. The only warm-up that they need. You know, he said that, and I don't... It's still Washing Gamers Unite. I'm pretty sure that's the same diff, so I'm not sure. This is the wrong...
Washing Gamers Unite again.
This is the wrong diff, apparently.
Yes.
You watching Gamers Unite again?
It's a collab, and it's like a huge collab.
People take
Well,
their
the other one
warm-ups
was
so
already.
seriously.
I mean, it's the pride of the state.
Yeah. The
Louis
2022
Louis
collab.
Chu, Electric Boogaloo.
So, what do you think? What do these teams pick against each other, and what do they ban against each other? Because, like, I honestly have no idea. I don't think I've seen Massachusetts play a single match because they keep scheduling their matches at these dumb times that they can't be on stream. And Washington has also done some of the same sort of thing. So I, like, legitimately just don't know what they play.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Massachusetts, not a good gimmick team aside from low AR because of Vector. So I'm gonna just say that they try to ban something like Nomad 5, and maybe, given their performance on Nomachu, I think last week, they might try to ban Nomachu as well.
What's interesting, last week Washington top scored Nomad 2, and Massachusetts got the second worst score. Like, I would not have expected that, I guess. I don't know. Oh, God. What?
I mean, to be fair, last week has the... I can't stop smiling at this, but I'm sorry. Last week had the situation with Chillier, where he was just a little tired of playing that match, perhaps.
Because he had just driven home from Colorado
driven
directly.
home from Colorado, like with maybe 30-minute stops on the way.
He took 8 methamphetamines, I believe was the recurring joke about that prior to that match. 8
methamphetamines and 600 milligrams of caffeine.
That's unsafe. That will cause negative effects. Yeah, that's well above the daily recommended maximum.
Also, 8 methamphetamine, I think 1 methamphetamine is unsafe.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, the caffeine part is serious and the meth part isn't, so...
Yeah. I mean, some people are just caffeine fiends.
I mean, I like caffeine, but I have like a coffee and an energy drink in a day, and that's it. I don't go crazy like Chillier did. So perhaps that means that last week's results must be taken with the tiniest grain of salt, where the Massachusetts at least is concerned.
Yeah, but I think with the Nomachu this week, I actually have to recheck the pool because I've been working on the next one. So my mind is
Paradise Ghost.
Paradise Ghost. It's a similar BPM. I think it's the exact same BPM actually, and it's like it's less stamina intensive, but it's still like maybe it's even worse for Massachusetts because it's a lot more of that flow aim, and like they didn't have the stamina to go too far into the Nomachu last week, but this week is like maybe it's gonna be even worse because you saw like there's the old meme of Chill Your Pair was dumb yacht. Like that was a flowing map. That wasn't a stamina map. So like, who knows? And he's in the lineup for Nomachu. I'm pretty sure.
I think Washington, like, unironically tapping abuses Massachusetts. They've gotten so good at speed. Like, DTs 1 through 3 plus Nomad 2 plus Freemod 3 are all on the table.
Yeah, I don't think that, like, it's necessarily a tapping abuse sort of situation, because, like, Massachusetts isn't bad at tapping necessarily. It's just that on the really stamina-intensive stuff, which I guess would be, like, DT Chu and Nomad Chu at most in this pool, or Freemod 3 maybe, they'll have a tough time, I think.
So that should say first or second ban. Okay, Verterix knows what he's doing, even if the ref doesn't know what they're doing. Well, we'll get into the bans, I guess, and we'll find out what the plan is going to be.
I love how we just have Louis playing in the background.
You know,
it's very fitting.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. We could have Nomad 5 playing in the background, your favorite song from this pool. We could have stuff like, I don't know. not really many other like quote unquote bad songs in the pool.
There's
I
one
guess
really
DT2
notable
is like
bad song.
DT2 is like a little acquired taste because it's 8-bit.
I still think DT2 sounds like Dire Dire Docks.
What?
Yeah. There's a part in DT2's preview, or like where it loads in the client, where it sounds like Dire Dire Docks.
Insane. Speaking of DT2,
DT2 gets banned.
first
Yeah.
ban from Massachusetts.
So, yep. No
surprising.
no speed abuse here. Washington Hard Rock 1. That seems so generic. I feel like people just don't like that map. It's 0% pick rate now. Unless it didn't get picked in Florida the match, right?
No.
So that's
It
gonna
got
be
banned a lot.
That's gonna be 0% pick rate, but like 4 or 5. Oh my god, I want the map pull up. But like 4 or 5 bans.
Thank you, Laser Client. Yeah, Hard Rock 1. It makes sense as a ban for Washington. Like Massachusetts has obviously TJ, a phenomenal Hard Rock player, and Chillier, who's also known for his aim. And Josie, apparently, which has been really popping off this tournament. We've gotten to see the rise of Josie.
Who's a player that I had literally never heard of before they were introduced on the Massachusetts team. So, yeah, that's Hard Rock 1 is now going to be the first map in the entire tournament to go unpicked, which is kind of just what happens when you get into a late enough round that there are fewer matches. But still, it's kind of a bit sad.
So, well, it could be. It will be the first. Like
it will not.
Sure.
I'm not saying it'll be the last by any means, but it is the first.
Yeah, it might not be the last, considering there's another one in this pool currently. Like,
And
right
wait,
now.
they banned Fremont 4.
Oh,
Why would you ban Fremont 4? It's literally 0 pick, 0 ban until now.
It's so that we get a buddy for Hard Rock 1. Nobody wants to be alone.
So that's 2 maps now with 0 picks and a potential third if this match doesn't go to tiebreaker. We'll have 3 whole maps in the pool that don't get picked and played at all. But why would you ban Fremont 4? Like, actually, are you worried about Washington on that map?
I'm actually surprised that Massachusetts didn't ban Nomad 5. Considering there's
the
situation
up.
within the team.
It's up. Ugh.
Well,
It's a hidden 2 ban from Washington. Sorry, Vector.
Not surprised,
Yeah, that's
Vector.
literally just Vector.
It's like having like Wowie or Kalanlu or Airy on your team or Yokespy, someone like that.
Yeah.
It's just like you have this person who can probably FC this map that everyone else is getting 500 at most scores, 500k. So we will ban it out of like just like fear. If I'm Washington here, they have first pick, right?
Yep. I think you go DT1, DT3, or Fremod 3.
If I'm Washington here, and I say this without an ounce of irony, I pick Nomad 5.
You pick Nomad 5 first, yeah. Like,
pick Nomad 5
unironically,
first,
that's
because
probably a good pick for them. I hate it, but it's a good pick for them. Okay, they're going Nomad 2.
Bad at it. Okay. No, that also makes sense because of the things we've already discussed. Nomad 2, not a good showing for Massachusetts last week, and this one should be mostly similar. It's a similar difficulty level. It's the exact same DPM, and yeah, etc., etc. We've already kind of discussed this on the pregame. So yeah, a little bit of a standard. Not much to like first pick, but go ahead.
The kind of weird thing to me with this particular Nomad 2, much like last week's, is that it is a super, super high variance map, because if you miss, it's really easy to chain miss. It's not like an aim map where you might just one miss in the middle of a pattern, but you can miss like 10, 12 times. And so if like a team has a bad score on last week's Nomad 2, I don't know that that informs their result on this week's Nomad 2, which makes it feel risky. But Washington has looked so good on tapping maps in general that I do still think this is a fine pick from them.
I'd say, like, every Nomad 2 is gonna have this problem. If it has, like, not stacked streams, you're gonna miss one note, you're gonna miss, like, the rest of the stream, unless you somehow miraculously manage to hop back on it. At the very least, you're gonna get several hundreds and fifties. So yeah, it's rough, but if you're confident on it, you just gotta pick it. And given the showings of Massachusetts previous, like on the previous match, then I mean, there's probably no safer pick.
So this has only been picked like what, 2 or 3 times now?
I mean, 2 or 3 times for a round of what? 6 matches?
Of 8 matches.
8 matches. Okay.
I'm just trying to look at the scores because for some reason the sheet doesn't want to load them. Okay, this is its 3rd pick. Carolina, Iowa put up 1.9 and 1.8 million. Texas put up 1.7. New Jersey put up 1.5. So kind of a nice linear sort of progression there, 100K or so between the teams. We'll see what these guys can do. It's gonna be the first winners bracket. Well, there's only 2 winners bracket matches, but the other one didn't play it. We'll see how they do. Matt, number 1 of our last match of the weekend. One of these teams is guaranteed top 3. And in Washington's case, already reaching new heights for their team, and getting to winners finals would be an even more dizzying sort of ascension from a team that's been kind of perennial top 12, top 8 to go top 3 would be really remarkable. Massachusetts trying to avoid what happened last year where they lost in the semis and getting helped out by that early break from Munko.
That's the first kind of like choke point in the map.
Oh, Josie and TJ. Nope. Okay, that was Bancho on TJ. It was not Joe. It was not Bancho on Josie though. And there goes Chillier with the chain miss. 2 FCs make that 1 FC to 1. Jacob 3 versus TJ, and Jacob has pretty remarkable accuracy as well. But Monko falls again. But there goes TJ, and now Jacob is free to fly. He has been such an amazing presence for Washington on this team this year. He's been playing so well round over round, and is poised to carry them on their first pick with a 99.78 AC FC through the first 2/3.
FC is that first hard part on the map. He's just free to soar, carry his team, get at least 800k score. Let's see if he manages to grab the FC.
It's going to get to the point where it's not comebackable pretty soon if he keeps holding. There is a break from WarpsCon, but the combo for Massachusetts is just not where it needs to be to try to bring this back. And Jacob 3 is, he's just reprising his role on this team as this huge carry on these tapping maps that he has been showing off so well on. And the late slider break at the very end. But it's going to be a great score anyway, just shy of 2 mil from Washington. That's going to be the best score that anyone has put up by about 84,000 points. And that gives them a
humility. That's a humility slider break.
Gives them the quick 1-0. In light of this morning's LCK final, I'm going to no longer call him Faker 3. I'm going to call him Chovy 3 now. Because T1 got 3-0'd in pretty humiliating fashion by Gen G, and Chovy looked really, really good. So we're going to call him Chovy 3 now instead of Jacob 3. And doing his job on map number 1.
Doing his job and doing your mom. Just really phenomenal performance from Jacob 3, just carrying the map. And, there's... I don't want to get into, tabloid kind of storylines here, but Jacob 3 didn't make the 3WC team that was with tryouts held by Chillier Fair.
What was that?
There's a little bit of somewhat of a spite motivator.
He's out for revenge, saying, "I can't believe you didn't put me on the team. I'm gonna prove you wrong by carrying against you in USC semis." I think Exarch did tryouts anyway. But I don't know who ended up picking the team, the final roster. Regardless, he wasn't on 3WC for one reason or another, so we'll maybe ignore that storyline. I'd have to know for sure.
Yeah, I have no sources other than Chillier Fair himself. So.
And you know how reliable a source he is. Alright, what do you pick first here if you're Massachusetts? Do you just...
If you're Massachusetts, pick Hard Rock Shoe. Unironically, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good shout. Precision? Oh, ooh, Nomad 4.
Nomad 4?
Tech-Chusets?
That's weird. I mean, they just lost to kind of like a flow aimy no machu, and this is like a streamy, a little bit flow aim tech pick, so I'm not sure I follow with the logic of this pick, but you know, they know more than we do. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, they said in chat, TJ saying we do a little bit of RNG gaming, so maybe they just feel that this is a coin flip and they're willing to take an early coin flip. I don't know that that's a great approach. Maybe that's a little bit troll, what TJ said, but we will, we'll see how it ends up going. It's Monko, Jacob, and Conrad. Chili or Josie, TJ. I feel we're going to see this roster a lot for Massachusetts tonight. I think Chili or Josie, TJ is just going to be, like, pretty constant.
I think Chili or Josie TJ only like stops when a low AR or gimmick pick is involved.
Yeah, like if Nomad 5 or Freemod 2 gets picked, then like maybe it changes up. Like Vector comes in for Freemod 2 if that gets played. Sitho comes in for like a speed DT. But we're seeing a lot of these three for the more standard and even some of the tech stuff that's a little more tapping focus. It's a map where it's very easy to break on a lot of different patterns. We've seen some really good scores on this over the course of the weekend. We've seen some not very good scores on this over the course of the weekend, and I feel like that's kind of how tech maps go.
This map, if you're consistent on it, if you're like good at the skill set, you will be consistent on it and you want to pick it. It feels good to play if you have the skill set.
Well, there go Conrad and TJ. It's going to be traded misses, a small advantage for Massachusetts, but the accuracy keeping things pretty dead even between Chili or Monko and between Josie and a little bit behind Jacob 3. Already halfway through, the back half of this map is no easier than the start. In fact, one may say it is even harder. FC's coming in pairs. Chili or Josie, Monko, Jacob. There goes Conrad again. Not the best. Massachusetts gonna be able to take a bit of an advantage into the last quarter. Conrad breaks once again. Chili or pair still holding on to that SS, and Josie is still holding on to the FC. So regardless of what Monko and Jacob do, it's gonna be Massachusetts taking the win now. Jacob breaks. Josie follows, but there's just not the score. It's going to be Monko looking to match the FC of Chili pair, but TJ and Josie have far superior backing score to Jacob and Conrad. Chili does find a late break, but not going to matter to the outcome as it is still a 200,000 point win for Massachusetts. First pick, RNG or not, it fell in their favor as they got a nice team score.
I think just an uncharacteristic showing there from Conrad. I think he expected to do a little bit better on that map, but you have those kinds of runs sometimes. Maybe TJ has a little bit of insight into the RNG you can experience on this map, and Conrad just got the low end of it, essentially. But yeah, it's solid scores from everybody in Massachusetts, and obviously solid FC from Monko, but wasn't enough. I think if Chilier breaks a little earlier there, maybe he catches some of that fabled RNG, like a little bit of a miss here and there. Washington could maybe take that, so it was a little bit close, maybe a little bit too close for comfort, but still solid play from Massachusetts. They know their stuff well.
And here's going to be the Washington Fremod 3 pick. I think we saw that coming. There was never a world where this didn't get picked eventually. This has been, if not the most popular, one of the most popular picks in this pool. It's definitely up there.
It's definitely
this is
one
like
of the best songs.
This is like what, its 8th? 7th or 8th pick, I don't know.
If it's the 8th pick that was picked every match.
True.
But,
I think it's one short. Also, for some reason, my thing is not updated, but it's whatever.
This makes a lot of sense. This is essentially just the fusion between Nomachu and the speed pick. So you have the first pick going into that Nomachu stream map, and then now you have a slightly less flowing map, but considerably more tapping and stamina heavy, I would consider. But yeah. Who do you think takes what mods in this pick?
That is a quite good question. I mean, the only like 100% is TJ Hardrock. Like I said, I haven't been able to see a ton of matches from these teams, so it's a little harder to be in touch with what mods they run on the free mod picks. But I mean, you know,
I mean, ideally,
I think
Monko would go either Nomad or Hardrock, and Chillier would go Hidden. The other ones, I could not tell you.
I think it might be Jacob Nomad, and then Warpscon and Monko share the mods for Washington, and then TJ Hardrock, Chillier. How comfortable is Chillier on like speed hidden? I don't actually know. I don't have a great feel for that.
He shouldn't be bad on it. I think it's one of those situations where you gotta consider if Jacob is like gonna take the hardest mod and maybe try to gap the difference there, or if he's gonna take an easy mod and just score for the FC. But you know, I guess we got it answered.
Yep, Monko hidden.
The hidden.
Jacob Hardrock, Warpscon, Nomad. Chillier early break on hidden. TJ Hardrock, Josie, Nomad. Well, this match has a lot to live up to after what we saw from Utami last match on this pick. For normal human beings, I don't think you expect to do what he did, but you do expect some pretty good scores.
For that matter. Telfoy with the Hardrock FC on this, I believe, and Utami with the hidden.
Well, hidden SS is more, yeah. I think we've seen 1 or 2 Hardrock FCs on this, as well as maybe a couple of Nomad FCs, but the hidden SS kind of just trumps a lot. And a couple
but hidden is a preference mod.
Kappa. Chillier with a couple of early breaks, not what you want to see. The combo hasn't gotten that big yet. This is what, 2100 max combo, so a ton of map for combo to be regained.
That's something they should definitely add to the laser client if they ever do a change to the tourney client, where they add the max combo of the map alongside the stats. That'd be kind of useful.
That would be cool, yeah. Chillier with another break. TJ breaks as well. It's already just down to 1 FC for Massachusetts. The early part of this looking very good for Washington, but only a quarter of the way through, so not meaningful quite yet, but it will start to get that way relatively quickly. And Warpscon maintaining some accuracy, so are Monko and Josie with those FCs. But TJ's act, by the way, with Hardrock, despite breaking, is actually quite impressive as well.
It's very nice. Everyone with the non-OD increasing mods having very good accuracy. Even Chillier, I believe. Yeah, Chillier just dropping below 99 right now, despite the early misses, so probably just accuracy heavily swayed by misses.
It is still a 3-way for Washington halfway through, and there's a second break for TJ. That's where the breaks start to really matter. And there goes Warpscon on the Nomad, but it's matched by Chillier pair, so not really the end of the world, not what you want, but not the end of the world. Josie does have that FC.
We're heading into the 1-3 section, which is a little bit of a slower section. It's harder to miss on. So everybody with a combo is going to get a lot more score right here.
As Monko and Jacob for Washington, Josie for Massachusetts. And that lead is going to grow through this section, as you said. The combo is, unless you get hit really hard by nerves, which could happen once you see that you're at 12, 13, 1400 combo, you have some relatively free combo in this section to build up even more. And the lead goes to 400,000 points. And there goes Chillier once again. So, you know, I asked how comfortable he was going to be on this map with Hidden. The answer is not as comfortable as his team would like, and probably he would like either.
Just finding unlucky breaks here and there. You hate to see it when you're clearly, like, you can play the map, but you just start breaking, like, periodically. So your score is, like, hard capped. It's always the worst feeling, but hopefully you can bounce back.
When you know it's the opponent's pick, I guess hopefully the pressure would be a little less. Like, if you underperform on a pick that you knew was probably favored to your opposition, it's not going to be quite as demoralizing as it would be if this were your own pick and you were having these issues.
Absolutely. You can just mentally just go, oh, it was their pick. We were supposed to pick that. We're supposed to win that anyway. And
This is a double FC still, by the way, from Washington, and a good
huge
score,
score, yeah.
like, and a really decent score from WarpsCon behind. It's a 600K. Josie putting in work, so, you know, showing up and proving the theory is correct that Josie was going to put up very good scores on this pool. But Monko and Jacob 3, not to be outdone, are going to double FC, or close to it at the very least, with mods no less. Josie top acking by a little bit. And that is an 800,000 point win. Washington speed looking clean this year.
Very clean. Both of their modded players just getting very, very good FCs. With Jacob 3, with the Hard Rock FC, apparently that's around 600?
Nah, wait, I have to look this up now. That's
it's
insane.
at least 500.
Wait, okay, hang on. Hard Rock.
It should be.
I'm gonna check. We've got Hard Rock. We've got 49 100s. That's 500 PP. I don't know what people are talking about. It's 500 PP.
Yeah, but it's still very impressive.
I mean, that's a great score. But it's not 600 by any means.
Yeah, very, very nice plays there. Even WarpsCon just finding an unfortunate break in the middle of the map. Kind of hard capping the score there.
He had one break closer to the ending as well. But yeah, it's still like a good score for a non-FC. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know that a team has double mod FC'd that, right? Like, there's no way a team has double FC'd that on both their mod players previously. That would be insane if so. But, I mean, that's just picks, you know, going in order so far. You know, 3 picks, all won by the team selecting them. Massachusetts kind of in that position where they're always going to be a point behind because they went second pick, which is great at the very end of a match if you are capable of, you know, adhering to that mindset of being good at playing from behind. But you're always behind, which for some people doesn't feel great. As long as there aren't breakpoints, I mean. So what's the next pick here for Massachusetts? Going the surprising Nomad 4 first pick. Obviously worked out well for them. So where do you go from there? Like, what feels comfortable for you?
The Jacob 3 Hard Rock phenomenon, then I don't know. But honestly, I'm a little bit stumped. Maybe they go for something like a DT1 West.
Okay, I don't know, obviously. I can't see their team sheet. I don't know what kind of scores they get on this map. But I don't get this pick knowing what I know about these teams based on what we've seen so far. Last week, neither of these teams played DT1. It was a pretty unpopular DT1. Washington top scored DT2, which was super tapping heavy. Massachusetts finished second behind them by 300K. So in that regard of, you know, DT tapping side of things, because this is pretty easy aim-wise, they're fairly evenly matched. But the risk seems high for a map like this, much like it did for Nomad 4, though.
If I'm...
Dada? Hello? He's dead.
Fuck. What did I do? Hello, I'm back.
Now you're back.
My internet does this sometimes. If
Yeah.
I'm following the Massachusetts logic of picks, they're picking the lower skill, like, not the lower skill, but like the lower end of the pool in difficulty, so that they're like betting on their consistency over Washington's like high-end skill gap.
There's a world where we just see like 5 or 6 FCs on this map, because I have to imagine that basically everyone that's going to be playing this in a match has FC'd it in practice. It's pretty straightforward for people who are comfortable with, what is this, 230 or something?
230 something, or 220.
227. Okay, close enough. As long as you're comfortable with 227 BPM streams, like this is gonna be doable because the aim is just not a super straining in any part of it. And that's an early break from Monko. What are you doing breaking there, Monko? That's not where you break. And it's gonna be in lead, Massachusetts. TJ's AC not helping, but they do have about 100 combo advantage, a little more. Into the next stream. Oh, Josie and TJ both fell off of it. And that's just instantly Washington taking a huge combo advantage. Boy, you can't allow that to happen. That is really unfortunate. The AC tanks and the combo tanks and the score tanks, and you're just suddenly behind by 200,000 points in the blink of an eye. Jacob does fall before the stream too, and he even hit it. That's unfortunate. But Monko and Warpscon do have a lot of, an FC and a big combo and very good accuracy, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. But it does open the door for the Massachusetts side to try to get back into this. And Dada's dead once again, it would seem. Got a quarter of the way left. It's a decent amount of combo on the backing players for Massachusetts. Now it's not. There goes Josie. I think that might just prevent this from being comebackable. Oh, and Chili breaks as well. GG. All right, Massachusetts blundering their pick a little bit here. As Warpscon still FCing. Monko on a 700 combo, just the early break. Warpscon does miss near the end, but he's put up over 900k, and the score lead is 400,000 points. And this is going to be Washington. Warpscon closes the choke, but he hit the hard part, and Monko with the reverse choke, one slider break at the very beginning. It's 500k win.
We see 0 FCs.
Yeah, well, apparently you can either have 5 FCs or you can see 0 FCs. I really expected at least a couple. I mean, on a map like this, if you're confident enough to be picking this, I would expect you to have an FC or 2 in your pocket, because every team that's done well on this has had a couple FCs. But I don't know. I'm a little surprised at Massachusetts. Obviously underperforming based on what they would have done in practice. I'm sure they had, players who were just FCing it every time. But that's like that risk in it. You FC in practice and then you troll in the match.
I mean, you gotta just wonder if they saw their sheet, their information there, and then thought, oh, we have 3 FCs on this. This will belay easy, and then they just missed.
Boy. It's going to be the hidden 1 pick here for Washington. This has been one of the hardest maps in the pool. I don't care what you say, Dada. Look at the data. The data says that this is one of the hardest maps in the pool.
The data can suck me.
It's hidden flow aim, and it's very straining flow aim, and it's really long. I mean, 5 minutes of this. But against Massachusetts, I mean, assuming you're Washington and you know that the other team is having TJ play basically everything, because who else would they have Phil for this type of thing? You're saying, okay, we're probably in a good spot because they have a player who's not going to be the most comfortable traditionally on this type of map.
I mean,
no Vector, right? The best hidden player in Massachusetts.
No Vector, but I don't think Vector would play this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not.
Universe.
Yeah, this is like a hidden map that Vector isn't in for. So if you're picking against Massachusetts, you're like, oh, okay, their best reading player doesn't play this hidden map. Let's pick this hidden map against them. That being said, it's so easy to just hard troll so many different sections in this map.
It's an easy map that's really easy to miss. Which is the funny part. Like, if you just look at this mechanically, it's all of a sudden like really, really easy. But then you play it and you're like, oh, I missed this accelerating stream. Oh, I missed this dumb like rhythm section. Oh, I missed
the 1/3 triangle jumps. And
yeah,
suddenly you're getting
I missed. And then you're just like, oh, I missed, and then you get 300k.
Yeah, I was about to say, suddenly you're getting 300k, and you don't really know how, because nothing in the map felt that individually difficult on its, in one section. Words. And we had an early bit of a chain miss from Josie. Dropped some accuracy, dropped the combo, but it was so early on that the score is actually in Massachusetts' favor thanks to the accuracy on Chillier and TJ. So maybe, I don't know, TJ has gotten good at hidden, and I was not aware of this. I apologize. I've always thought of TJ as, you know, hard rock specialist, but oh, I had to say it. That is a poor choice of timing for that slider break, but Conrad follows it right back up, and it wasn't a slider break after all. It was a Bancho miss. So Massachusetts is in a decent spot, as Chillier and Josie maybe both miss. We'll see if those are Bancho or not. There goes Jacob 3 as well as Monko. Okay, everyone has died except for TJ. I don't know anything about this game. Please fire me from all OSU-related commentary positions pronto, post-haste. I literally have no idea what I'm talking about. Obviously.
I was gonna say, the lead was still Washington's, but something is weird here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the score. I think it's just is it just the 95 AC on Josie, maybe? Josie's at 140. Maybe. Josie's at 140k. The next lowest is at 180k, so that may have something to do with it, but it just doesn't matter because TJ is literally popping off. Lol question mark. Surprised to be doing this well on this map, I guess? I'm not sure. Or surprised that Washington isn't doing better. This is closer than you would expect it to be considering the combo gap. There's so much map left though. It's still half.
Right, like this is a tiebreaker pool, and this is one of the tiebreakers, so.
This map is made for non-hidden players, people say. I don't really get that, but okay, whatever.
Many people are saying this. Apraxia.
No, I just said people said it. Like
no, yeah, like Apraxia is like an anomaly, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, but Apraxia is the ultimate non-hidden player. Also,
TJ, ultimate non-hidden players, yeah.
TJ does break, and that will open the door a little bit for Washington. Jacob is a roughly matching Chillier, and Monko has a 300 combo, so that's a lead. And there goes Chillier pair. Okay, Chovy 3, it is your time to bring back this 50k score lead. And at this juncture in the map, it can actually happen pretty quickly if they hold all the combos on Washington's side. As there goes Josie again. Oh boy, this is gonna go over here.
If you practice this map, this section is a little bit easier than the start accelerating streams. Like you aren't like at risk of just missing on random stuff. If you know the rhythms here, you can very easily gather combo. So this will be close.
And that's exactly what Washington just did. They gathered a whole bunch of combo. Monko finally breaks. There goes Jacob as well as TJ. So this is Conrad 1v2, Chillier and Josie. He does have the same amount of combo roughly as they do combined, but it's quite close. It's 60,000 points. Washington didn't build up an insurmountable lead by any means with this entire last chorus and the outro still to come. And all of a sudden it's a tech map. Like all this like stop, start, fast, slow slider aim.
This is a tiebreaker.
It's a full reset from Massachusetts. Washington just won the map.
It's just a tiebreaker placed in the hidden pool.
Truly, it's absolutely just a tiebreaker, except with forced hidden. I don't know. Hidden only tournament. Hidden only tournament 2. When?
So that Vroom, CV Vite, and Malteser can try to win their deserved hidden only match.
Hard Rock players stay winning, or DT players as well, I guess. But
they lost.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Hard Rock players, stay losing.
I'm not surprised. And that is a great performance into the ending. Conrad building up almost, he does get 900 combos, as well as Monko at 550. That was terrifyingly close for the vast majority of the map. But Washington got that combo in that part you were talking about, where if you practice it, you can get combo here. And Washington did exactly that. Took the lead, held the combo through enough of the last Ki, built up more combo at the end, and end up with 100 and just about 60k win. And that's 4-1. That's a consolidated break point, which is exactly where Washington wants to be. Now they just need 2 more maps. 2 more maps. Washington 2 maps away from their first ever winners bracket final, first ever top 3 in USC. It is Massachusetts pick next. But they're going to be a little bit on the back foot now after losing their own pick and then coming close but failing to capitalize on a breakpoint opportunity.
Yeah, if Mass had to pick DT1, which is, like, I think everyone would agree, is a pick you realize is extremely contested between the 2 teams. I don't know if they have any good picks left. Like, I've suggested Hard Rock 2, we've suggested not Nomad 5. We suggested, like, just the Hard Rock one in general, I guess.
And there it is, Hard Rock 3.
Yeah, we've suggested Free Mod 2 for Vector, potential Vector diff. But, yeah, I think every pick from now on, in their eyes, is going to be extremely contested. Because otherwise, I can't really, like, wrap my head around the DT1 pick at all.
Yeah, no, that one really didn't make sense. And, I mean, even with, like, good performances possible, they didn't get what they needed, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Hard Rock 3, I think, suits them a little better. Like, it's very aim-focused, and it's Hard Rock, which TJ is, you know, very, very good at this sort of thing. So I like this pick more than the DT1, and I will you know, just jump on the hindsight bandwagon if they win it and say they should have picked it instead of DT1 on the previous map. Obviously, that's a couple minutes out from now, whether or not that comes to fruition. And we finally get Omfin in, who we have not seen very much of in general.
I think we haven't seen it all tournament.
Yeah, have we seen him? Yeah, that's a good question. Somebody can go check on that. I don't know that we've seen him play any maps. Control F, Omfen, 0. Control F, Omfen, round of 16, 0. Control F, Omfen, quarterfinals, 0.
That one I know was a 0.
This is literally his first map of the entire tournament.
Better late than ever.
Better late than never.
So, yeah.
It feels like a mashup of punk rock and klezmer. Okay, that's because this is ska punk, and that's basically what it is. Also, I'm interested that TJ is familiar with klezmer music, because I don't expect the random, like, people to be familiar with klezmer.
The random people.
I mean,
TJ will be very offended at that comment.
Okay, unless TJ is Jewish and I didn't know about it, then it would make sense. But I mean, actually, to be fair, they are from Massachusetts, so I guess it wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world. But in we go. There's another Streetlight song that has, like, the most klezmer-ish section you'll ever hear. I forget. It might be, it's another one on Everything Went Numb, or Everything Goes Numb, but I forget what song. Anyway, Chillier, a couple early breaks. The aim faltering in the early goings for him. It's not gonna be the end of the world because it's so early on, but you don't want to fall behind on a short map. It just, you know, playing catch up is never fun, especially when you know that you know that the light at the end of the tunnel is closing in on you rapidly, for better or for worse. Is a break from Omfin though. It's gonna be traded back. Massachusetts combo lead.
Unfortunate break from Omfin.
Ooh, a second unfortunate break from Omfin. A third unfortunate break from Omfin. His first map in the entire tournament not going the way Washington would have liked it to. TJ and Josie still holding down the double FC, and Chillier has built back up the combo. Omfin is unable to play this, apparently, and Jacob follows up. So I think this one is about... Oh my goodness, Omfin, what is going on, my brother in Christ? All right. He is just...
All note locks.
He is just straight up having a bad time. All right, good job, Massachusetts. Going to get their second point on the board.
This is a weird map currently. Like, you have early breaks, you have, like, first timers, you have Jacob the Goat 3 just having an off game here.
I mean, he had one miss. It's not the end of the world. It just doesn't help much. Now, if TJ and Chillier broke, like, right at this split second, this could actually be comebackable, but it's realistically not. TJ doing exactly the least surprising thing this entire match and top scoring the Hard Rock aim map. I know, I'm shocked too.
The Hard Rock aim map, we say, is Hard Rock 1 is banned.
Well, the remaining Hard Rock aim map.
It's funny.
And that is a solid win for Massachusetts. They really needed that one in more ways than one. I mean, obviously they would have gone down 5-1 if they lost it, but also just in terms of, you know, the mental, like, you need to get a point on your own pick at some juncture in the match, and they did manage to do that.
Oh, Omfin instantly leaves the lobby. Uh, that's a shame. I don't really want to comment on it, but like that is a shame to have your first pick or your first map, I guess, come this late and then
And you just dropped the
have yeah have,
396k.
you have to wonder how much of that was nerves and how much of that was Washington not having a third for it.
Yeah, I think they like who else would have played that? Verterix doesn't play that. Conrad doesn't play that.
Conrad can play that probably. He's a Conrad player.
Okay, Conrad probably could have gotten 400k at least, but that's a low, unfortunately, a relatively low bar, judging by the other scores we've seen. Who's the other player? Who am I forgetting? Oh, WarpsCon does not play that.
Yeah, you have to wonder.
Also,
you know, good pick from Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm curious if Massachusetts. I mean, I guess it's just a function of the stage of the tournament we're in and the players who are on their team, but they effectively only have 3 players. Because it's been Chili or Josie, TJ for everything. Now that Washington is picking free mod 2, we might see a 4th. We may see Vector now, because this is, of course, the CS5 AR8 free mod.
We have to see Vector.
This is... Okay, tell me that this isn't super high risk from Washington. You're picking CS5 AR8 into a team with a low AR hidden easy specialist and a precision hard rock specialist. Like, surely this is high risk if you're Washington, right?
Probably. I mean, we talked about Massachusetts maybe running out of picks. Maybe Washington is starting to think that their back is against the wall in terms of picks.
I mean, they're still up 4-2, though. I don't know what... I mean,
Vector joins the lobby, immediately screams no.
He was forced to play easy hidden.
He was forced to play the CS5 AR8 map, except it's streamy.
That's true. That is one aspect of this that's a little weird, is like normally this would be perfect for Vector. I don't know how great he is on stream stuff. I mean, he could be fine. I just don't know. Is DT4 pickable for Washington? I don't really know if that's like... I mean, it's not speed, it's just finger control, so I don't know if that's...
I mean, I certainly don't think it's a good pick for Massachusetts. I think they don't have really the players to be good on that kind of map, but I don't know about Washington's... Like, I don't know about Washington's affinity with that map, so to speak.
Yeah. And Vector is in, so it does appear we will be seeing the Vector.
Oh, the time has come for him.
We will... does he go easy hidden on this, or does he just go hidden only?
I think he should just go easy only, if anything.
But
if he's an only hidden player, then maybe easy hidden.
The thing is, if he goes hidden,
easy, he's taking away a lot.
If he goes easy only, then that forces Chili or hidden. Wait, why are we seeing OMGs and everybody freaking out? Like, unless he's going easy flashlight, that's the only way I would be freaked out by whatever he's doing.
He's easy hidden. He's easy hidden.
Yeah, surely it's easy hidden. Which is really not surprising because we've seen...
Everyone is going, holy, wow,
yeah.
OMG. I wonder if...
Wow, look at that, easy hidden. I never would have guessed that Vector, noted hidden easy player, was going to be playing easy hidden on the CS5 ARA. Holy crap.
If he performs on this pick, then we made fun of the wows and the OMGs, but I'm gonna be spotting that shit all day.
And of course, TJ Hardrock and Chili are on the no mod. Boy, this feels like such a risky pick for Washington, man. I don't know. Like, Monko, no mod AR8, CS5, Conrad, fine at low AR hidden, but I wouldn't put him in the top tier of players in that skill set. Jacob 3 Hardrock, I think, will be fine. As fine as anyone can be on Hardrock on this map, so we'll just have to see how it goes, I guess. It's so long. There's so much combo. There's so many places to break. There's just maps. It's another tiebreaker in the tiebreaker pool.
Oh, this one is less tiebreaker because it's really just streams and reading.
Yeah, it's one skill
set. If you ever put this as a tiebreaker, the AR8 CS5 tiebreaker, you are officially a troll.
Symphony of the Night.
That was
2004.
5.5 years ago.
Was that 2016?
That was 5 years ago. That's 6 years ago, maybe.
Roughly, yeah, going on 6 years ago now. Okay, we see early breaks from Chillier and Vector. We see an early break from Conrad as well. I don't want to have to do math. That's all I ask. Regardless of the outcome, I don't want to have to worry about math. Like, either Massachusetts needs to win this straight up, or Washington needs to win by, like, more than Vector's score. Just so we don't have to think about it. But
I don't want to have to do math.
I hate math. Screw math. It sucks. It doesn't belong in my OSU tournaments. It doesn't belong in OSU tournaments. Alright, Conrad having a little trouble on the hidden. Monko and Jacob still looking good, and there's a lot of combo being built up on Chillier and Vector. TJ, of course, doing TJ things. I feel like that might actually be the difference maker just as much as Vector, but having somebody as steady on this sort of map as TJ is likely to be.
I mean, both the Hard Rock players in this lobby are phenomenal Hard Rock players.
Conrad is having a rough go of things.
As everyone with hidden on this map does.
Unless you're one of, like, 3 people. Even then, actually. Into...
Last time I checked, which was like a long time ago, the only hidden FC on this was FG Sky. So
tradition
think of that
dictates.
as you will.
Alright, well, so far, Conrad is just kind of not doing well, and it's really dragging Washington down. There is another break from Vector, but Chillier and TJ still out.
You were saying?
I don't know what I was saying anymore. Now, that being said, Massachusetts is still in the lead.
Slightly.
It's a respectable margin. I mean, it's like 80K or something? 70K? Yeah, about 70K. Monko and Jacob are both still holding, though, and that's what's really key. If they can FC through this guitar solo section, which is really hard, Washington will be in a much better place, even if Conrad continues struggling. If one of the FCs breaks, if TJ breaks or Jacob or Monko breaks, then this gets busted wide open in a hurry. And it's Monko. Vector follows, though.
Not a surprise.
There goes Chillier. Oh, man.
Some of these kick sliders into stream patterns, classic of like old Dragon Force maps, these are so tough on the way out.
Jacob and TJ are just holding it down with Hard Rock. But Massachusetts is gaining a little bit of ground here. And both the Hard Rock players are still FCing. Okay, what's the gap? It's 160,000, so it is Massachusetts by 20K? Roughly?
Roughly. A little bit more, maybe.
Any miss anywhere will be able to swing this still. It is not over until the absolute last second at this rate. Chillier building up combo, Monko matching, TJ and Jacob are matching, but there's a double break from Washington, and that just lost them the map, and it just lost them their breakpoint advantage.
They break on the same exact note?
Just about, yeah, at least very close. And what did I say? The TJFC is gonna be the difference maker, because that is, 60,000 points, and Vector with the 200K, more than enough. And that is going to be Massachusetts taking the point. And that's the breakpoint back.
Yeah, for the newcomers, because of the easy multiplier in this tournament, we multiplied the scores of easy by 2. So the point might have looked like Washington's with the score bar at the bottom, but adding up another one of Vector scores, essentially, that lead goes to Massachusetts and they win the point.
Boy, TJ Hard Rock FC method is clean. 2-1-5-1-5-1. That's a aesthetic from Vector. And now it's 4-3 in favor of Washington. Massachusetts gets the next pick.
Oh, they paid them for the breakpoint that they had earlier on DT1. They paid them in kind.
And now the momentum has shifted a little bit. That's back-to-back points for Massachusetts after being down 4-1. Hard Rock 3, Fremod 2 going their way. Fremod 2 felt overly risky, and it turned out to be overly risky. But the pool continues to dwindle in size and available picks. We've got 2 DTs, 2 Nomads,
honestly,
Hidden 3, Hard Rock 2.
If I'm the Massachusetts, I actually pick Fremod 1 here, if anything. I feel like you just won on a Fremod. I feel like Fremont 1 is the most mechanics that's not like tapping, but like aim mechanics heavy. And I think Massachusetts has a slight edge in that, but they don't want to pick Nomad 1 because it feels a little bit RNG, a little bit unlike the Nomad 1s you've seen in the past. So I think Fremont 1 would be like ideal if you take into account all of those, but I have no idea how they actually do on it on their own private sheets, so that would just be my suggestion as an outsider.
Well, there you go. You get the Fremont 1. In a sec here. I don't know why Laser Klein is always behind, but there. Yep. Okay. So Oshaba Scramble. We're gonna get back-to-back free mods.
Obama Scramble.
And Verderic's coming in? I think.
I wouldn't be surprised for that.
Yeah, Verderic's hidden on this.
Verderic's hidden. Monko Nomad.
Monko Nomad, Jacob Hardock, yeah. And you've got Chillier hidden TJ Hardrock, Josie Nomad, probably. Same sort of thing for Massachusetts.
Obama.
This
Soda.
This feels risky in a different way than Fremod 2 did, in the sense that Fremod 2, it was like, you know how good TJ and Vector are and that sort of thing, whereas this is like, just everyone can do well.
Yeah, it's risky because aim is a high variance.
Yeah, yeah.
So, unlike something like a Nomad 2 or a Fremod 3 that we've seen from Washington before, where they just picked it instantly because they knew, oh no, we're better, the better team at this, so we should like 95% win this map. Now this one is more of like a, oh, we think we're gonna win this map, but it still could go either way, you know, 60-40, 70-30, something like that.
Yeah, the ability to be comfortable in your pick on an aim-based map is a lot lower than many other skill sets. But we shall see shortly. GLHF's coming out, which means we should get into it momentarily. Massachusetts look to tie it up. Washington, of course, with the break point here, would give themselves a match point on their own pick, and then also one on Massachusetts' last pick. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, though. There's one pick left per team after this, potentially, and that is all. So you really got to put your best foot forward on either side, and it is going to be all the same mods as on the free mod 3. And an early break from Josie on no mod.
Yeah, we've seen the return of Josie here after the one map Vector was in for.
Well, both no mod players breaking the first 100 combo. That's a little unusual for a map like this. I would not expect it.
Also, yeah, we switched the mods around. Apparently Jacob 3 is on the no mod and Monko is on the hard rock, so maybe Jacob 3 a little bit more nervous, or maybe Monko just like a better aim player in general. Who knows?
Monko has historically had really, really good aim. I feel like that's been a skill set that's been good for him in tournament play in the past. There's a triple break. It's Chillier, TJ, and Verderix all breaking the same pattern. Monko follows it up shortly thereafter. Suddenly, Josie, with that early break, has recovered combo enough to take the combo lead over, and Jacob 3 falls, so it is all Massachusetts now, with Josie being the only combo of anyone. I don't think I've seen anybody struggle as hard as the players in this lobby are struggling on this map so far in this weekend.
An easy map to miss, and everyone just kind of did, I guess.
Somehow it's a 200,000 point lead because of the multiple misses, I guess, from the Washington members.
I don't know if I'm seeing that wrong, but Jacob has a 96 accuracy on Nomad. That might be the reason.
Yeah, that's not good.
Both the Nomad players are actually the lowest accuracy on their team.
And there goes Monko. Josie does fall, but it's 300k. There goes Verderix as well. Okay. There goes TJ, but there's just not going to be the combo for Washington. Even with all of Massachusetts falling, Washington doesn't have combo to bring this back. They would have needed Verderix or Monko to hold. Jacob has 450 combo, and that can't do anything about 300k lead. And that is a tie ball game. That is 4-4. After everything that went down, Washington up 4-0, or 4-1. Massachusetts wins 3 points in a row to tie it up. And now we go into the last picks from each team deadlocked. No pressure or anything, though.
I mean, unfortunate S rank from Jacob. I think he had like 2 or 3 slider breaks there. And yeah, interesting that both of the, not anymore, I guess. Also Omfin joining the lobby, but for a while there, both of the Nomad players were actually the lowest axe. Both Jacob and Josie kind of struggling with the axe, but Josie just holding a little bit longer. And
That's a
yeah,
quick.
Oh,
Have you ever seen a team pick their last map of the match that fast? I mean, that was pretty much instant Nomad or DT3. Like as soon as they had the opportunity to pick it.
I mean, considering that Omfin joined the lobby like immediately, they rotated really quick. I'm pretty sure they were talking about their next pick as the Oshama Scramble is being played. So they're probably just practicing in the background, and then everyone who's warm just wants to go. Like they're warm, they don't want to lose that warm up, so they just want this as soon as possible, and which makes sense. You know, it's a fast map. It's a map that requires you to get a little bit used to the AR. The AR 10.3. And yeah, it has a lot of kind of like 280 bursts. Not a lot, but some respectable 280 bursts. So they just really want to go. And Massachusetts does not, given that they don't have a third here. I'm pretty sure they're waiting for Sitho. Or not.
Yeah,
I would have expected Sitho.
Is Sitho just like not here? I mean, he didn't play DT1. He's not apparently playing this. He didn't play Fremod 3. I don't know if he would have. I would have expected him in for this map, but maybe he's just not here. I don't know. I mean, Massachusetts, I think we knew going into this match that it was by and large going to be a 3-player roster because Vector only plays 1 or 2 things, and Friends was just, or Frenzy, whatever, was not going to play much. I mean, he didn't even play Nomad 2. It was just like...
Apparently Sitho's keyboard is broken because he spilled energy drink on it.
Osu players don't mess up their peripherals challenge.
Don't eat at their desk challenge.
Right?
Impossible.
Okay, to be fair, I do have a glass of water sitting next to me here. So I guess technically there is that risk. Oh, dear me, that is 2 very fast misses. Oh, dear me, that's a full reset for Massachusetts. They were not ready for the map to begin. I'm gonna just pretend that this. I'm gonna say it doesn't have anything to do with their comfort level on the map. They just like were not set for some reason.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. If this continues, you have to wonder why Washington went with Fremont Chu before this.
I was thinking
you
that
have
as
to
well.
know this somewhat.
We'll see though. I mean, that was like literally the first 70 combo, so there's so much time left. Another break from TJ comes out. But Monko is actually trading it back, as does Omfin and Josie. So it's WarpsCon FC versus Chili Repair at 100 combo under an FC. These are just
maybe that's why.
These are just teams that are a little less comfortable with this map, I think, in general. I'm surprised to see Monko missing on this like multiple times though. Boy, this stays close. I mean, it's 40k.
Into the next close. I think it's actually getting closer.
Josie falls though, so that helps out. Washington has a couple hundred combo advantage on either Monko or Omfin. TJ's not that far ahead. And the accuracy. Oh my goodness, it's double break from Omfin and from WarpsCon. Wait just a second. This is comebackable. Chili Repair just needs to hold, and he's going to bring this back over to the Massachusetts side. You cannot do what Washington just did. They just may have thrown the entire match. Chilier does find a miss, but TJ is going to be able to hold off Monko, and there's not a lot of combo, and there's not a lot of time left with how short this pick is.
There's a bit more combo in Washington, though. Omfin and WarpsCon with a little bit more combo than Josie and Chilier.
This is going to come down to the very end. It's a 40,000 point lead, but that's by no means unsurmountable. Insurmountable. Phrasing. TJ is the smallest amount ahead of Monko, but Chilier with a late break, as does Josie, and the lead now can go back over in the back and combo of Washington. Monko is able to hold off TJ, and Omfin and WarpsCon have the 400 combos on themselves, and they are going to be able to bring this back over to the Washington side at the end. So what looked like it might have been a blunder, Washington manages to claw their way back, and they will win their last pick by a small margin, but it's enough. It ends up being
a little bit bigger at the end there.
136k. I mean, that's not a lot.
You have to wonder. They look at that second to last break or the last break, and they see the score so close, and they're like, oh. But they managed to hold them off, confirm their pick, and get to match point.
And now,
Very intense DT3 there.
oof, it is the last pick. So there's two ways this goes. Either Massachusetts wins their last pick, they force TB, or we see a break point on the last pick, and I don't know what Massachusetts has left.
Well, if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would bet Nomad 1. Not because I think they're better on it than something like Hard Rock 2, or, you know, I guess that's the only real pick left for them, but because it's much less, like, affected by nerves.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say Hard Rock 2, but the nerves trying to play CS 6.5, you can't ignore. You just can't ignore the effect of how powerful nerves can be on a 6.5 when you are trying to force a tiebreaker at 4-5 down in the semifinals, trying to go on to top 3. Like, if there's any point that nerves will be bigger, I certainly, you know, other than, you know, this same spot a round or two later, this is about the worst nerves you're going to see at this stage of a tournament. So what's available is Nomad 1, Nomad 3, Nomad 5, Hidden 3, Hard Rock 2, DT4. And
DT4,
it's going,
no.
and it is the Nomad 1. So there you go. You were right. And you toss a coin, and may the gods be ever in your favor.
You know, Massachusetts, I think, is slightly favored, given what we've seen on Oshama Scramble, what we've seen overall in this tournament with AIM. But this was the deciding map for NorCal versus Florida, wasn't it? And we saw what happened there.
Did not, because I was not. I did not get to watch that match, unfortunately.
Okay,
so
I saw what happened there, and it was a team hopefully getting the tiebreaker, picking Nomad 1, and then getting, well, it was a close map, but getting their hopes denied. So let's see if history repeats itself once again as we head into Black Swallowtail, mapped by Calandraz. Many people are saying this. People saying that this is a Nomad 1 that's more based around its weirdness in streams than a proper Nomad 1. So maybe the aim isn't really that big of a factor after all. And this is, in fact, a 50-50 matchup. Who knows?
do you remember when we saw Verterix on a Nomad 1 in the past? Cast your mind back to Utopia by Alia.
Oh, that a year
Nomad
ago?
1 3 years ago? In the in the Washington versus, was that against Michigan match? Verterix comes in for Nomad 1, carries it. Can he do that again? Could it be Verterix Utopia again?
Get on lobby. FC Nomad 1. Never repeat the same feat or even play Nomad 1 again.
Refuse to elaborate.
Refuse to elaborate. Leave.
Now, I agree that I think Washington is a little bit disadvantaged in this with, you know, Chili or Josie TJ being very, very strong aim players, but you really can't count out Monko, Jacob. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. Jacob and Verterix both break in the first 200 combo, so maybe you can count them out. Who knows? This is long, but you don't like to start off with players looking like they're not comfortable on the map against a team that has two SSs and their third player is FCing. And this is going to start to build a little bit of a lead here. You never want to see a lead of already 70k before you even get to the first Ki in a Nomad 1 that's 4 minutes long. And Verterix is at 91 AC. Okay, congratulations, Massachusetts. We're going to see our first tiebreaker of the weekend. There goes Monko as well. I'm just going to walk away because this doesn't matter anymore. It's literally already over.
Look, you say that as a joke, but I'm actually going to go grab a soda to get ready for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, like I unironically don't think this map is winnable for Washington already. I don't know that
in 3 minutes.
I don't know that I've, yeah, go ahead. It's fine. I don't know that I've ever seen a Nomad 1 this one-sided, this fast in my history in tournaments. Like, 185,000 point lead when you're not even to the second ki in a map that's 4 minutes long is so much bigger than it looks on paper. And Chili Repair and TJ are proving why they are considered such great No Mod 1 players. As Chilier maintains his SS into the second ki, TJ, just a couple of hundreds, does finally find a break. The door could technically have just opened up ever so slightly if Chili Repair finds a break soon, because Josie broke as well. Washington has a tall mountain to try to climb to get back into this pick, but they do have a decent amount of combo if and when Chilier breaks. This is kind of predicated on that happening, which it may or may not. His aim is really good. But Josie missing again. There goes Verderix. That can hurt pretty badly for Washington. If Verderix has been able to hold there, that's the Chili Repair break that Washington would have needed. That's the Chili Repair break that could have gotten Washington back into this, but unfortunately, all 3 members from Washington reset as well. And, well, the map felt like it might not be over there for a couple seconds, but it quickly has fallen back into the lap of Massachusetts. Washington had the tiniest opening to try to slip just maybe a toe into the door, but it was slammed shut, both from the other side and, you know, from them slamming their face into it. And we're gonna get our first tiebreaker of the week. We haven't seen one in quite some time. It was New York and NorCal last week, providing our one and only tiebreaker in, I believe, the last match of the week as well there, ignoring the Wednesday match. I mean, I'm not really counting that. The last streamed match of last week was the only tiebreaker last week, and now the last match period of this week is going to be our only tiebreaker. As Massachusetts brings it home, 400,000 points. They forced a tiebreaker, 5-all. 8 minutes of Octagon are what we have in store next up for these teams.
Well,
it was 4-1 in Washington's favor. They managed to win a grand total of 1 more point. Massachusetts clutching it out with a 3-player roster.
I don't know what to say, really. Somewhere along the line, you have to consider mentals as well, and with the momentum Massachusetts has and Washington lost, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough to bounce back from that and actually come into the tiebreaker with 100% of your strength here. This tiebreaker is one of those kind of compilations, but more like a medley, where it just goes and gets more intense and faster as it goes on. But the first couple of songs become alt-mapped because of this factor, and a lot of them have really funny patterns. So expect people to break on the first roughly third of this map, and then the last third. The middle is relatively free. Also, yes, you are hearing Bonfire remixed by Jack Black in Sesame Street.
So, it's Chillier, Josie, TJ, because it's been Chillier, Josie, TJ for everything. Will it end up being Monko, Jacob, Conrad? Is that the roster?
It has to be Monko and Jacob.
It's obviously Monko and Jacob. Like, that was never the question. But the Conrad, like, who's the third player for this? I guess it's Conrad. But I mean, who else would it be? I guess I don't know.
Considering the first third of this map, which is heavily alt, like a little bit like finger control techie, Conrad fits very well. The last third of this map is where he's going to struggle. It's more the mechanics aim side of things. For Massachusetts, it just has to be TJ, Josie, and Chillier, because everyone else is either missing or, you know, willingly does not want to play maps.
TJ going to spend some time in editor, I guess.
At least it's better to change the offset before you get
Yeah,
to the tiebreaker.
everybody go check your offset. Please don't do the thing.
Although I would make it, I would, you know, take the piss out of it, so to speak. But also, a thing that you might notice is, well, this is the first tiebreaker in 2 weeks, right?
We had one tiebreaker last week, the NorCal versus New York. The last match that we streamed of the week was the only match that went to tiebreaker. Same thing's going to happen this week. Kind of funny.
It's prime time, you know, just the prime time buff. The script writers are working overtime. Apparently, TJ is just
DJ's playing the entire map.
I don't think you have 8 minutes to play the map. Get your ass in here, or risk starting 2v3.
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 minutes now. I don't know.
They did MP timer 240, which is 4 minutes. I mean, it somewhat makes sense, but that is half this map.
I mean, if there's a particular section that somebody wants to go look at, I guess that's fine, but there's a limit on such things. Anyway, I think we are going to be good to go here. Chiller, Josie, TJ, Monko, Jacob, Conrad, and this one is for all of the marbles. One of these teams, after the next 8 minutes are over, will be in the winner's bracket final matched up against Florida. The other one will drop down loser's bracket to take on, I believe, New York? Yeah. In next round of losers in finals week. A lot riding on the line here. And both these teams want this really badly. With their history in this tournament and considering how things have gone for these teams, Massachusetts was in this exact spot last year. Tiebreaker semifinals against Virginia. Ended up losing that one on a very Virginia-favored map. Washington, of course, their first time being in this tier of the tournament. So both have their reasons for really wanting this one. And we will see who can emerge victorious, exultant on the other side. As away we go. And
also, I'm sad that we can't bring you the video, but that would crash Aaron's computer.
I would
with
actually,
the amount of...
I think my computer would set on fire, I have to imagine. Early first traded breaks come from Chillier and Conrad. This is 8 minutes long. I don't know at what point breaks start to matter, but it's not now, and it won't be for a little while.
First third, last third, very hard. So, any breaks here? Until we get to the, the funny part where the map just kind of dies for a little bit, they aren't gonna really matter. But once we get to the free combo, you want to just have as much combo as possible.
And there's going to be another break from Conrad. It's traded with Josie. That's worse off for Massachusetts. It's going to be a little bit of an early lead here for Washington. Chillier has recovered some combo. He's still 200 behind the FCs, but it's not the worst thing. Matching Ack on Jacob and TJ. Roughly matching Ack on Monko and Chillier. And yeah, you have to hold. Oh, Josie just missed an entire pattern. Look at that Ack drop down to 94%. And Ack can matter. With Scorby 2, Ack can matter. If, you've got a ton of time to build it back up, but every little bit counts. And there's a break from Washington. So that will mean Massachusetts takes the combo lead back. Jacob falls a couple times, Josie as well, but Chillier and TJ holding on. That's the duo, I think. That's the strongest pairing of players in this lobby. Monko obviously is probably the best player overall, but Chillier and TJ versus Monko and any other player from Washington are probably going to be a little bit stronger. The lead is small. The lead is small.
Yeah, the lead is pretty small. This is roughly where the map starts to die. So everyone with combos is going to keep building them, hopefully. And
they do.
Yes.
And yeah, it's 30,000. It's holding relatively steady when you consider the combo and the accuracy around the board. That's not too surprising. Of course, Washington had that tiebreaker against Texas a few weeks ago. Managed to hold them off, managed to win it. Can they manage to pull that feed off twice? Well,
the lead is shrinking, but it's very slow.
Yeah, it requires the combo lead of Massachusetts to outdo the accuracy lead from Washington, which it is slowly but surely managing to do. It's about a 200 and change combo advantage. Jacob and Josie, of course, almost identical, but Chili are ahead of Conrad. 20K lead? I mean, it's nothing. It's effectively nothing. That lead is completely meaningless. That, however, is a Jacob miss, and now the lead is going to go right over to Massachusetts here pretty quickly now, because that's a big amount of combo. That's almost 700 combo now. And there goes Conrad, too.
You can't afford to miss there.
You absolutely cannot. This is halfway through. This is in the easiest part of the map, and now it is just Monko trying to hold down the fort for Washington, while all three members of Massachusetts are building, and their lead is now going to blossom. That is the worst place to miss, unless you get a couple of breaks here pretty promptly from Massachusetts. They're going to take a huge lead.
Soon you'll see a couple of linears when you hear the Hall of the Mountain King motif. That's when the map kind of like becomes, well, hard again. But with those weird patterns in the middle, maybe lack of practice, maybe just a little blunder moment there. Just the two misses from Washington gonna give Massachusetts a huge cushion.
This starts to get really scary here for Washington, because this starts to get uncomebackable once you get past a certain point, and with Jacob breaking again, that point's going to come a little faster than they would have liked. You feel for Monko at this point, 99.5 AC FC, and it's being pushed into irrelevance. There is a break from Josie, so it does open it back up, but it needs to be Chillier or TJ. One of those two, if not both of those two, needs to break. And it needs to be, before we get to the really hard part where you're going to start to see more players missing.
The map is already pretty hard. We just got past all the Mountain King. Now we're in Tickle or Kill Me Elmo, I guess, where
100K lead.
Well, it becomes a little bit more mechanically intensive.
You can see the aim just increasing in difficulty. It doesn't really let up on you. Some squares, some back and forth, some streams. And Massachusetts on Chillier and TJ, they do not want to go out the way they went out last year, and thus falls Conrad again. This is going to start to be uncomebackable here very soon. Monko's at a 99.6 AC FC, but he just doesn't have the backing score from anyone. And TJ is matching the FC, if a little bit farther behind on AC. And Chillier has a 2K combo, just the early miss in the first couple hundred combo, but he's been FCing ever since. Remember Chillier's heroics on the tiebreaker FCing several weeks ago. Catching him back all the way, to round of 16, I think it was. Where Chillier FC'd the tiebreaker. Was that against Arizona? I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long. But Chillier and TJ holding it down, and it's a 200K lead. I don't think there's really anything that Washington can do anymore except for pray. And they might have just gotten a little bit of a prayer answer. TJ with a big break. It's only 635K. There's still a lot of score left to come. If Chillier pair breaks soon and Monko holds, that could open it back up as much as it ever can be for the Washington side. Also note, Jacob on an 850 combo and Conrad matching Josie. And Chillier pair breaks. Wait a minute. That just made this possible for Washington. There's still 200K score for Monko on his FC if he can hold. Jacob is on 1,000 combo nearly. This could start to come back, but I don't know if it's going to be able to come back fast enough.
It all rests on the shoulders of giants here. Monko 2K, one of the most historied players in the history of USC. It's all on his shoulders.
If he FCs and they win by the margin that they would win by if that is the case, it will be one of the most heroic performances you are ever likely to see in this tournament. He's at 3,000 combo. The score lead is down under 100,000 points. The aim doesn't get any easier. The streams don't get any easier, but he makes it through that section. And so does Jacob, crucially 1,200 combo. The lead is 50,000.
Aaron, this is the slow part.
This
Aaron,
is the slow part. There's
part.
free combo. It's still coming down. It's 30,000 points and dropping into the ending. Monko is holding the FC. Jacob 3 is holding the 1,300 combo. The score lead is 10,000 points, and it could go over to Washington in the last moments of the map. Monko 2K with his high AC, 99.6 AC FC. It goes over! Washington might just be able to do this in the last second. 3,000 combo FC and gaining for Monko. 1,400 combo from Jacob. They are going to break the hearts of Massachusetts and win the match in the last second. 6-5 Washington. They take the victory and they go on into the winners finals of USC 2022. What a performance. Monko 2K is a legend.
Monko 2000 is the baddest man in the fucking United States.
I cannot breathe right now. That is one of the most clutch performances that I have ever seen in a tournament from any player at any level. Washington has pulled off the most improbable tiebreaker comeback that I have seen in a long, long time to close out a victory in a remarkable fashion, from 4-1 up to a 4-4 tie, to both teams winning their last pick to send it to tiebreaker. And Monko 2K, cool, calm, collected, 99.6 AC FC on the tiebreaker. That's what, the 4th FC on the map?
It's the second. If you don't count the chokes on the very end pattern, that's the second FC on the map, I believe.
I have no words for what we just saw. That is one of the most amazing matches and the most incredible conclusions that you're gonna see anytime soon. Washington are the winners. They advance onward for the first time to the winners final. They face off against Florida. Massachusetts have their hearts just ripped out of their chests. The most ridiculous fashion. And they drop down to losers bracket. They're still alive in the tournament. It's a lot to come back from after a match like that. But if they can collect themselves before next week, who knows? They get New York in the losers bracket next week. The winner of that goes against the winner of the NorCal SoCal team kill match. But wow.
I'm just speechless.
What a match. What a performance. Congratulations to Team Washington on an amazing win, on a historic win. Massachusetts, chapeau on an incredible comeback in this match. But Monko and Washington were just not to be denied tonight. And onward they go. And onward we go. It will be a week that we'll not soon forget. But we will go into the finals with our top 6 teams decided. Florida, Washington winners final. Massachusetts, New York, NorCal, SoCal losers bracket matches. Those will be next weekend. They have a lot to live up to. And everybody will get to find out the map pool that those matches will be held upon tomorrow night. We'll have our finals map pool showcase. So, get some rest overnight. Try to recover for anybody who's still having trouble catching their breath after that ending. Follow the stream if you're not already so you know when the showcase comes live, because it's always a great time. You get into these late rounds, these pools get really hard. You see some really interesting things. And we thank you for watching. And we congratulate Washington on their win. I've been this one guy. He's been Dada. We will see you guys next time.